Jarrett, welcome back to the podcast, I should say. How are you doing?
Hey, thank you. I am great. It's always good to be here with you.
It's great to be back in person.
Yes.
I assume you've been to conferences. This isn't your first in person, is it? Or is it?
It is.
It is.
I mean, not in my whole age of existence, but in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I have done, I host, MC, speak. So I've done some of that in smaller groups,
Okay.
but not anything of this magnitude.
Yeah. So what's your big takeaway from this year's AFP?
I'm also a first timer, so I've not
Okay.
done the AFP ICON. Next year, I hear it's going to be in New Orleans, so
Yeah.
I'll see you there. It's been great. I love the energy. I love the buzz, the vibration. You can feel it in the showroom. The doors open at 9.
Yeah.
So really just seeing people, as you said, like in real life, like, oh my gosh, is this virtual reality? It's just been really cool to connect, reconnect, and see the advancements on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of I want to spend a couple minutes talking about disruption.
Okay.
One of the things, and I don't want this to sound negative. It might sound negative, and if it does, it is, or whatever. Being here, there's lots of great things happening. Lots of great speakers,
Yeah.
phenomenal speakers. But I don't know. I just have this sense that we need to take the next step in this industry, moving forward in
Yeah.
more innovative ways, because the organizations here are solving the most important problems facing humanity today, the
Yeah.
biggest challenges, and I feel like we've just been stuck, right? The pie hasn't really grown that much.
Yeah.
Incremental for sure, but not significantly. So I don't know, any thoughts around disruption, anything that you're thinking about in that space?
You're preaching to the choir, Justin. I love it. I love disruption. I love innovation. For me, disruption isn't negative. I feel like it has a negative connotation.
Yeah.
So if you get too negative, I'll just start calling you Negative Nancy. But I think we're good. I do think that you're right. We're not taking it as far as we could and maybe as far as we should.
Yeah.
I see technology advancing all around us, and the sector, the nonprofit sector in particular, is slow to adopt. And maybe that's what you're referring to. We've talked a little bit at this conference about AI,
Yeah.
artificial intelligence, which sounds scary, right? It's like, well, what is that? Is that Big Brother? What exactly is that? Where are these data points coming from? I agree wholeheartedly, and I like to push the envelope regardless of the conversation.
Yeah.
So really pushing the envelope to say, okay, what is next? And why the hell are we not doing it?
Yeah. Something we've been experimenting with at Funraise is a combination of machine learning and AI around sort of the ask string on a giving form.
Yes.
And what we've analyzed millions of transactions and have created a model based on sort of an individual's IP address, an individual's device that they're on, whether it's mobile, an Apple, Macintosh,
Yeah.
all these things that are very easily knowable and need to know from a platform perspective. And there's lots of similarities in the type of device a user has, for instance, and the type of gift that they would make.
Yeah.
And adjusting the ask string accordingly so that they don't give too little or get scared by too big of an ask
Sure.
amount. But it's been interesting, nonprofits run into the fear of that not being something nonprofits should do, right? Even though e-commerce has been doing this for years.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And so that's the sort of attitude I want us to, as a community, get rid of. If we want to scale, if we want to grow, we have to push the envelope on that's a small example, but things like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. We have to, even back in 2020, so many organizations hit the pause button. So many organizations were not comfortable asking, why do people give? Because they're asked.
Yeah.
So we have to ask. We have to ask a certain amount. We have to tell them where it's going, how it's helping the organization, helping the community. I'm also a huge proponent for, that sustainable donor group. So maybe a monthly donor, and maybe even going back to that monthly donor group to say, hey, might you consider an additional gift this month, right?
Yeah.
And that is something that might be $7. It might be $25. But those incremental ask and donations adding up, we know this, right?
Yeah.
Makes a huge amount.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why not do that? What is stopping us?
Yeah, I mean, I think status quo. I think the biggest sort of competitor enemy to sort of innovation is status quo. We get comfortable. And we maybe even see like positive results, but are they the best results?
Yeah.
And I think, there's nonprofits aren't afforded enough opportunity to really kind of risk it and
You're
to
right.
go for bigger results.
I wish that I knew this woman's name. She was a staff at Google, maybe even an executive, and she made a really big mistake, very costly mistake. And her supervisor said, "That's okay. You learn from it."
Yeah.
Whoa, like mind blown. Imagine if we, the nonprofits, had the ability to afford to take risk and make mistakes and to learn from it, right?
Yeah.
And so it really is about, okay, let's take it to the next level. Let's not settle for status quo.
Yeah.
Is our community, do they deserve status quo? No. Our constituents deserve status quo? No. So what is holding us back? That's a good question.
I think it's just the fear of failing. And, there's like a famous story at Facebook where Facebook used to operate under like move fast, break things.
Yeah.
And there was like a junior engineer that just came first day on the job, was like, took that to heart and was building, and they would like deploy daily to the platform. Engineer took down the platform, first time Facebook ever went down in its history.
Yes.
And, the individual was freaked out, thought that he was going to be fired right away for it. But instead, it caused, Facebook to actually look at, well, why did this happen, right? What? Because it's problematic. It was inevitable this was going to happen soon. And this uncovered, something that was very problematic in the code base. And they're able to fix it, move on, and continue developing. And I think that's sort of the mentality we need is maybe not like necessarily break things, but we got to move fast, and we need to try things. And if we fail, we fail, but we got to move on from there.
It's funny you say that we have to move fast, because I've caught myself saying, hurry up and wait.
Huh.
Like that has become a motto, a mantra, I believe, in the nonprofit sector. When I talk to other consultants, in the work that we do nationally, it's, oh yeah, I sent in this proposal, or oh yeah, I talked to this board member, and I still haven't heard from them, and it's been 30 days. So if we're waiting to take any action, we are waiting to fail, I feel, right? Like so how do we move faster? How do we, take these risks, take these opportunities when they present themselves, regardless? It could be literally signing up with a client or taking down the website.
Yeah. I think like an easy step, and it's easier said than done, is removing the bureaucracy that exists in so many organizations.
Yeah.
I think where a lot of things go to die is the board. And I think that we need to really rethink the way that the board operates. Like they're fiduciaries to the organization, but they should not be slowing it down. And I just see that time and time again. And I think that that's an area. And the bigger you get, it's harder, right? You need process. You need to operationalize things for sure. But the thing that I'm interested in, even with my own business, as we scale and grow, is how do we never lose what I call the startup edge, where like the agile, nimble, we can move fast, we can change our minds. It's okay to change our minds, and which kind of coincides with this, but it's maybe a little bit of a rabbit hole, is this idea that like the best idea wins. Right? Like it's not like the most senior person in the room. It's not maybe even like the domain expert in the room.
Right.
It's literally the best idea.
The best idea. Well, I love that. I truly do, because to stay nimble, to stay agile, I feel that those organizations that did that over these last 3 years are the ones coming ahead, right? Like they are sprinting across the finish line, which doesn't exist yet. We're still sprinting. And I think those, again, that pressed the pause button and said, we're going to sit this one out, they're losing, right? They're getting lapped by the people that are out there sprinting. And we do have to stay agile. What does that look like? Like, I also think, the bureaucracies, you mentioned that. There's this great book, again, I cannot think of anything off the cuff, but it's delegate decisions up to a certain amount, right? It could be a dollar amount, a decision, whatever that looks like. Allow your staff, allow your executives, allow anyone to make that decision immediately, off the cuff, knowing that is in alignment with whatever has previously been designed. And I think once we do that, we trust our team, we trust ourselves, trust our board, we're able to take faster steps forward.
Totally agree with that. Shifting a little bit, what are you most excited about, whether it's project, campaign, new client for the rest of 2022?
Oh my gosh. So I started my business, Lucky 13. I'm in 13 years.
Oh, wow.
So 13
Congrats.
years ago, 2009. Thank you. So I'm a teenager, right? I have some breakouts. I have some moodiness, trying to figure out who it is that I want to be. So one of the things I'm launching this year, brand new, because I started my business, the Raven Group, I'm also known as the Nonprofit Nerd, as a grant writing consultant. That's really what was needed in 2009, really needed now, grant writing. I don't love it, which is interesting, right? I'm saying I don't love it, but I love coaching, training, and teaching other people how to do it. So I have started the grant writing business program, and I'm teaching other people, in particular women like myself, to become, part of their community, submit grants, start, build, scale their own grant writing business specifically for nonprofits. So nonprofitnerdschool.com. I'm going to help you get to six figures if you want to do that.
Yeah.
There are so many dollars out there to be awarded to nonprofits. And there's so many organizations seeking professional grant writers. So that's what I'm nerding out on.
That's awesome. What was the inspiration to start that this year?
Yeah. So my inspiration, honestly, is, as we look at this great reshuffle, great recession, great resignation, whatever that looks like, I look always into my future. I want to retire at the age of 50. And I will tell you, I have 7 years to do that. You can do the math. You can do the math. So in 7 years, right, I really want to retire, live a nomadic life. I have this huge desire. It used to be taboo to say, oh, I live down by the lake, in a van. That's my dream. That's my retirement. So for me, I really want to empower other women. I want to teach them how to start, build, and scale a business like I have. 10 years ago, I was on food stamps, going to food banks, being the recipient of our community resources. Now I'm, thriving in a six-figure business. So I want to teach other people how to do that. I just got back from Cabo San Lucas with my son for spring break. So these are the opportunities. I am so passionate about teaching other women how to do that. Yes, I accept men if that's, who is attracted and wants to do this as well. But I'm super passionate about, the nonprofit sector and really about nerding out.
Oh, it's very exciting. I'm excited to kind of follow along and see how it goes. What was your favorite thing in Cabo? We love Cabo. I go there every summer.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, we're going to have to make that happen and connect. My favorite thing in Cabo, God, there were so many places. Well, we stayed it used to be the Welk Resort, which is beautiful. There's the food, like the tacos. I live in Phoenix, so we get a lot of tacos anyway. Yeah. We of course did the Arch, we did that beautiful tour.
Did you hit the Office?
Yes, ate at the Office.
It's all right, right?
Yes, it is fun. Yeah. They're expensive margaritas, but they're worth it.
We were we're just there in February, and I was with our family. I have 4 kids and a couple other families as well. And we were sitting out there on the beach. And did the Rambo guy come up to you with the tequila shots?
No.
So he comes up to our table. He's fully dressed like Rambo. He's got the bandana on and everything.
Wow.
And he comes behind me and he grabs my head, pulls it down. He's about to pour a shot in. And my daughter across from me, she's 7. She just freaks out and starts bawling and crying.
No.
The whole restaurant looks at us. It was so embarrassing. It was so funny.
But did you take the shot?
I took the shot. I took the shot.
Yes.
I had to take the shot.
You got to.
And then he went up to her and gave her a lemon juice shot. It was so funny.
Oh, that's great. To let her know it's safe.
Yeah,
Daddy's
it's fine. Yeah, not gonna hurt him. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Right.
All right, let's do some rapid fire questions as we wrap this up. There's no wrong or right answer.
Good.
So, movies or series?
Oh, series.
What are you actually watching or binging a series?
Right now, I don't think I am, but Shameless, that's a good one.
Shameless,
on
okay.
Netflix.
On Netflix,
yeah.
Okay.
It is. It makes you feel really good about your life.
Nice. I can use that. I can use that. I'm currently watching Severance, and it's very dark. It's very dark. So maybe I need to.
Would you recommend it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an amazing.
And where
show.
would I find it?
I think it's HBO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Severance.
Yeah. Severance. Tacos or cheeseburgers?
Tacos. Hello,
yeah,
Cabo.
Yeah, there you
Phoenix.
go. Beach or the mountains?
Mountains.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like the cold?
I just love nature.
Okay.
I love nature. I just bought a condo in Park City, Utah.
Oh, I was just there last week.
Oh my gosh. Well, next time,
amazing.
Let me host you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be spending my summers there.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. We were there. It was it snowed the last few days.
It's snowing today or yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Ice cream or froyo?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Rocky Road.
We're like the same. That is my favorite ice cream too. That's amazing. Football or football?
Football.
Football. Okay,
yeah.
so soccer. Yeah.
Always soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a competitive soccer player, actually.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, defense.
Okay. Nice.
Sweeper.
Nice. All right, last one. Moana or Aladdin?
Oh, Aladdin.
Aladdin. Okay.
Yeah, I like Aladdin.
Yeah.
Especially the monkey.
What's his name again? Abu?
Abu.
Abu, yeah.
Good job. You do have kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 4 of them. Too many. No, I'm just
4.
kidding.
Yeah. 4 too many.
Awesome. Well, Jarrett, thank you so much for stopping by. This was fun as always, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep.